ballroom. Kindly take your seats and make yourselves comfortable. Do not forget to set your devices on silent mode. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask for your kind cooperation. The moment our guest of honor enters the ballroom, I'd like to ask everyone to kindly all rise together as we receive his attendance and his arrival today. Thank you very much. And he'll be arriving short. Silfolk, Minister of Transport, accompanied by our distinguished VIPs. Let us give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Muniayan, Secretary General, Ministry of Transport. Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Muhammad Syaril Tarmizi, Chairman of CAAM. Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Captain Norazman Mahmud, Chief Executive Officer of CAAM. Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Norma binti Osman, Deputy Secretary General of Ministry of Transport, authority members of CAAM, distinguished stakeholders, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and a very
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang berhormat Dr. Sifuk, Minister of Transport. Yang berbahagia Datuk Sri Jana Santiran Muniayan, Secretary General, Ministry of Transport. Yang berbahagia Datuk Muhammad Syaril Tarmizi, Chairman of CAAM. CAAM authority members, distinguished guests, members of media, my CAAM family, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. On behalf of Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, I would like to warmly welcome Yang Berhormat Minister of Transport, Yang Berbahagia Secretary General of the Ministry, our Chairman, distinguished stakeholders, and members of the media. Thank you for taking the time to join us for these meaningful occasions. Today marks an important milestone in CAAM's journey. The unveiling of our new corporate identity is more than a change of image. It represents a transformation in how we, as the nation sole aviation regulators, position ourselves to meet the needs of an industry that is dynamic, challenging, and vital to Malaysia's future. Aviation has always been a cornerstone to Malaysia's growth. It drives tourism, creates employment, and connects our businesses to the world. For this reason, a strong regulator is not only about safety oversight, but also about instilling confidence that Malaysia is a trusted, competitive, and globally connected aviation hub. CAAM's renewed identity reflects this responsibility. It is a symbol of our commitment to uphold the highest standards of safety and security, while also being more adaptive, responsive, and engaged with all our stakeholders. In practical terms, this means continuing to strengthen our regulatory frameworks, adopting technologies in oversight, and enhancing cooperation with all our stakeholders. That includes the airlines, airport operators, training institutions, and maintenance organizations. It also means embracing sustainability by working alongside with the Ministry of Transport, all other relevant ministries and agencies in a wider aviation industry to support the country's goal in making Malaysia an aviation hub and national initiative that includes decarbonization goals, Green Airport Initiative, and IQ's target for net zero carbon emission by 2050 for our aviation professional and workforce. This transformation by CAAM signals opportunity. We will continue to invest in capacity building, training, and international collaboration to ensure that Malaysia has skilled talents required to support the sector's growth. Above all, today's event is about unity. The Ministry of Transport, industry partners, and CAAM are aligned in one mission, which is to ensure safer skies, and a stronger aviation future. Before I end my speech today, I would like to personally express my personal gratitude to Ravi, to SecGen, to all our CAAM board members, my CAAM families, all the stakeholders for the support that we have to this day. I urge you to come forward, become our partners to ensure the safety of our aviation. I always take safety as very, very personal to me, because I'm sure not many of you in the room today have lost their close people, loved ones to aviation accidents. Make it personal, be our partners. Let's move forward for the safety of our loved ones and the prosperity of our nations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MC. Yang Berhormat, Lok Sufuk, Minister of Transport, Yang Bahagia Datuk Seri Jana Santara Melayan, Secretary General of the Ministry, my colleague Captain Razman, authority members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and not forgetting, of course, members of the media. I see a lot of you in the back. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, today we witness an important evolution for CAAM. The unveiling of our new corporate identity is not just a reflection of a refreshed new image, but a renewed purpose and direction for the future of aviation regulation in Malaysia. CAAM's identity has been redesigned to represent professionalism, integrity, and trust, values which underpin every responsibility entrusted to us as the new sole aviation regulator for the country. More importantly, it reflects our determination to evolve with the aviation industry, which is undergoing rapid transformation driven by technology, sustainability, and global competition. As the sole aviation regulator, CAAM's new mandate is wide-ranging, apart from ensuring safety and security oversight of flight operations, licensing of aviation personnel, regulating training organizations, to managing Malaysia's airspace by providing air navigation services, and now the economic regulatory oversight is also under our responsibility. Apart from being a regulator, we should also keep up the industry development role that CAAM has to undertake as enshrined in the Act. With this new identity, we would like to reaffirm our vision, which is to be a regulator that not only enforces compliance, but facilitates development, growth, innovation, and sustainability in aviation holistically. This means creating an environment where airlines, airports, maintenance providers, and other players can operate competitively and sustainably while meeting the highest international standards. It also means supporting the development of aviation professionals, ensuring that they have the right skills to thrive in the future, as well as supporting the development of the aviation industry in Malaysia as a whole. It also means being ready for challenges ahead, managing increasing air traffic growth, being ready for new technological advancements in unmanned aerial services, strengthening cybersecurity in aviation systems, and ensuring resilience in the face of crises such as pandemics or climate-related disruptions. A major priority for CAAM is to support Malaysia's role as a regional aviation hub. We are committed to working closely with the Ministry of Transport, alongside other relevant ministries and agencies, to align the national initiatives such as the Malaysian Aerospace Industry Blueprint, as well as the Malaysian Aviation Decarbonization Blueprint, and not forgetting on the immediate horizon, Visit Malaysia 2026. CAAM's transformation will also underscore collaboration. Regulators, ladies and gentlemen, do not operate in isolation. We succeed only when we engage openly with industry stakeholders, government agencies, and international partners. This renewed identity therefore represents our openness to listen, to innovate, and to build trust. We have to communicate, cooperate, and collaborate. Internally, this is also a promise to our own people, all of Warga CAAM. Our personnel form the backbone of CAAM's credibility, and this new identity is a reminder that we carry a collective responsibility to deliver regulatory excellence with professionalism, competence, and consistency. Ladies and gentlemen, the new CAAM is not just about how we look, but it's about how we act. It is about raising the bar for aviation regulation in Malaysia, safeguarding public trust, and ensuring our skies remain amongst the safest in the world. With this new CAAM vision in place, and together with the help of the Yang Berhormat Minister, the Ministry and all industry stakeholders, I am confident that together we will continue to make Malaysia proud and play a vital role in advancing both the aviation industry and the national interest. Before I end, on behalf of Warga CAAM, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Yang Berhormat Minister and the Ministry for making the merger happen. This merger was one of the impetus to improve the service scheme for CAAM personnel through what some of you might know as BBDSD. Today, sir, CAAM personnel now enjoy improved salaries and benefits. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank the Public Services Department, the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Economy, the Attorney General's Chambers, as well as the previous chairman of both the old CAAM and MAFCOM, and the respective authority members and commission members for their efforts in this achievement too. Thank you very much. For the record, this journey of merging the two regulators was started by where we looked approximately 6 years ago in 2019, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It took him 2 rounds of being in government and 3 KSUs and a lot of perseverance. Thank you again, sir. To everyone else present, thank you. Looking forward for your support and thank you for being here with us today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih kepada Ansyur Majlis yang berbahagia, Datuk Seri Jana Santira Menayan, Ketua Setiausaha Kerajaan Angkutan yang berbahagia, Datuk Muhammad Syariel Tamizi, Pengurusi Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia CAAM, yang berbahagia, Datuk Captain Nur Osman bin Mahmud, CEO of CAAM Authority members, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here today to officiate this important milestone for the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, or CAAM. As earlier mentioned, the unveiling of CAAM's new corporate identity represents more than just a refreshed image. It reflects Malaysia's commitment to strengthening our aviation sector through a regulator that is modern, independent, and aligned with international best practices. Aviation is critical to our economy. It enables trade, tourism, and investment, creates jobs and opportunities, and it connects our people and businesses to the world. For these reasons, Malaysia needs a strong and trusted regulator, which is one that ensures safety, protects consumers, and facilitates industry competitiveness. The transformation of CAAM is therefore timely as we prepare for the next phase of our aviation growth. Over the next few years, Malaysia has ambitious goals to strengthen our position as Southeast Asia's leading aviation and aerospace hub, to attract global players in manufacturing and MRO, and to prepare for the major milestones such as Visit Malaysia Year 2026. These initiatives will require seamless collaboration between government, industry, and regulators. CAAM's renewed identity is a symbol of this readiness to support national policies, to engage with stakeholders, and to ensure that aviation in Malaysia grows in a way that is safe, sustainable, and inclusive. In line with global developments, we must also embrace sustainability. Malaysia has already committed to ICAO's long-term aspiration for net zero carbon emissions by 2050, and we are implementing the Malaysia Aviation Decarbonization Blueprint. CAAM will play an important role in working with airlines, airports, and service providers to support these targets. What is equally important is innovation. As aviation moves into an era of digitalization, unmanned aerial systems, and new technologies, our regulatory frameworks must adapt. CAAM must continue to provide oversight that encourages innovation while ensuring the highest level of safety and security. I wish to commend the leadership of CAAM, the newly appointed chairman, our CEO, and all CAAM management and staff for their dedication in undertaking this transformation. It is not an easy task, but a necessary one to ensure that our aviation sector remains competitive globally. To the industry stakeholders here, I urge you to working hand in hand with CAAM. The success of our aviation sector depends on collaboration, trust, and a shared commitment to excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, this new corporate identity is not just a new look for CAAM, but it's a new promise that Malaysia's skies will remain safe, our aviation sector resilient, and our future in global aviation secure. A new identity, a new look. But what is more important is a new culture, a culture of excellence, a culture of efficiency. That is something that I look forward to the new CAAM under the leadership of our chairman and our CEO. I wish CAAM to become an efficient organization, one that it will cut down red tapes and bureaucracy. I know aviation is a very regulated industry, full of regulations, thousands of regulations, many processes. But I think it is a responsibility of the new board and the new management to look at how we can make it more efficient, to cut down the process, to simplify the regulations. I'm not saying that you totally do away with regulations. That is impossible because we are in a very regulated industry. We have an obligation to our international standard under ICAOs, a lot of obligations, a lot of regulations that we have to comply with. Definitely we have to comply with that. But what we can do is to simplify those regulations and process. Look at each particular regulation, how we can do better without compromising safety. I think that is the most important criteria. Safety is always our most important aspect and consideration. So this will be the task and the mission of both the board and as well as the management. I do not want to hear reason that because those are the things under the Act. If anything related to the Act which makes your regulation not so efficient or make it a lot of red tape or bureaucracy, bring it to the ministry. An Act of Parliament is not cast in stone. An Act of Parliament can be amended at any time. So if the reason is anything related to the Act of CAAM, bring it to me, bring it to the ministry. I'm committed, and the Ministry of Transport is committed to simplify and help CAAM to make our regulator more efficient. I think that is the message that I want to send today. Together with all the stakeholders, we must look at how to make our environment better and more efficient. Simplifying processes and regulations is one of the key tasks that we must do. Because we must make our environment more business friendly. We must make it more adaptable. There are a lot of new changes in the aviation sector. Aviation drives economic growth. And we must look at our stakeholders as our partners. as not just someone that being regulated. Of course, they must be regulated, but they are also our partners in driving the aviation development. So this is the new culture that we must adopt in CAAM. I know that previously a lot of people did not go to CAAM. These are very tough regulators, airlines, ground handlers. A lot of people did not engage the CEO of CAAM, Captain Zamo. Banyak garang. Ini selalu mau nak regulate saja. But I think the new culture and the new environment that we want is that we must work together. We must cooperate. No one knows best, not even the regulator. Everyone must work together because we are in a new environment. A lot of new challenges, a lot of new technologies. No one has a monopoly of knowledge. So let's work together, make our environment better, make the industry more competitive, and we are here to facilitate. The government is here to facilitate. And as Minister, I'm committed to bring the changes for the betterment of the country. This is the message that I want to send. It's not just unveiling a new logo, but a new sense of hope that things can be better. We must aspire to be the best, not the second best. It's enough for us to be the second best in the region. We must aspire to be the best. And CAAM should facilitate this move. And what's more right now, what we are unveiling today is not just a new corporate identity, but a new structure, an enlarged CAAM. It took years to complete the process to merge the two regulators, MAVCOM and CAAM. And right now, we have one single regulator, everything under a single window, both technical and economics. And this is where we need to be more efficient for the entire aviation industry, for our stakeholders. And in the process, we have made CAAM as an independent statutory body, what we call as DBTSB, as mentioned by the Shadow just now. And that is very important because all CAAM staff, they carry a very heavy responsibility. They are responsible for our skies. They are responsible for the safety of tens of thousands of people every day who depends on aviation to travel around the country and around the world. That's why they must be paid accordingly. And because of that process, because of that merger and making CAAM as an independent statutory body, we managed to raise the salary scheme for our staff. And of course, with higher salary comes with higher responsibility and higher expectation. That is given, right? So the CEO of CAAM have to deliver more. So I know that the CEO has always mentioned that he has done national service for a number of years before this, because he was brought in from the airlines to help CAAM during our very challenging period. So right now, I hope that with the new scheme, things can be better welfare for everyone. And of course, we hope that this will help to push up the motivation of everyone in CAAM. We want a more efficient organization. We want better air traffic management. I know on and off, especially during long weekends, long holidays, a lot of people complain, congestions at our airports. not only at the check-in counter, but the planes are also lining up to take off. Of course, there are multiple reasons for that. Our air traffic control is congested and all that. But all that should be overcome. We should make our skies more efficient. Aircraft can take off, can land safely and efficiently. So those are the things that we must look at. And of course, right now, there is a new sphere that under the aviation sector, what we call the low altitude economy. That is something which we have to look at. Not only drones, but how do we allow this low altitude economy to take off? Tomorrow there will be a big conference in KL to talk about the low altitude economy. And this is something we should already talk about elsewhere. If we are not at par, if we do not follow all this development, we will be left behind. I was in Hong Kong last week. This is a major topic that is being talked about in Hong Kong. And I'm sure many parts of the world as well. So this is where I think we should look at how do we facilitate the growth of the aviation sector entirely, not just in the traditional sense, but in the new environment and new industries that is emerging. So I hope everyone here, with a renewed spirit, with a new corporate identity, with a new logo, I hope it looks nice later. I hope everyone here will feel motivated to push the boundary, to push our aviation sector that is full of potential. And I wish all the best to the new CAAM structure. So with that, I hope that we will work very closely together, we will collaborate, and we want to make sure that CAAM will excel and our aviation will grow even into a bigger industry. With that, I'm honored to officiate this unveiling, and I look forward to seeing new CAAM's transformation bring lasting benefits to the industry, to the economy, and to the people of Malaysia. Thank you very much.
Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to kindly invite Yang Berhormat Earl Silfok to remain on stage as we proceed into our very much awaited agenda. With this, we invite our VIP. This is the moment that we have all been waiting for. With this, we would like to invite Yang Berhormat Minister to kindly place your hand on the airplane thrust lever and to push it up as we execute the countdown together to unveil the new CAAM. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall execute the countdown. The count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. skies. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Moment, and of course, to commemorate this historic milestone, CAAM is proud to present a special token of appreciation to Yang Berhormat Minister of Transport and to Yang Berbahagia Datuk Sri Chana. With this, Datuk Sri Chana. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. As a token of appreciation to our guest of honor, they are gifted with CAAM's. Ladies and gentlemen, an absolutely beautiful